Hello, viewers. I'm SB, and welcome back to Isles of Sea and Sky, where I think at this point we've seen the edges of our world, barring any huge surprises, or that island that I am so sure is being obscured in the bottom left somehow becoming accessible. I think that we have all the powers we're going to have. So, at this point, all that's left is to try to gather the remaining stuff from the islands. We know that there's 35-ish more stars. I don't know that I'm going to promise like 100% here, but we're certainly going to take a crack at everything. But before we do those, I want to go back to the fire and air islands and try to pick up everything that's left there, which I guess is, that is getting some of the stars. So this should actually take us pretty close to Air Island, right? Yeah. At the very least, we have an awful lot of gems to pick up, but I know this island still has like a lot of stars and keys and stuff too. Okay, so what is left where? The screen directly above me has a gem and a star. Let's get to it. Okay, so that star is easy enough to get now. Okay. Problem solved. It's a shame I can't like jump over other one-tile problems like that. Right? You would think that if I can just leap over a hole, why not just leap over some spikes in the ground as well? But I guess maybe the idea is maybe it's not supposed to be a leap so much. I don't know. It doesn't matter. All right. How am I going to get to that spot? The space just to the left. I'm actually not sure. If we got into the space just to the right, rather, of the hole up there by the lock, can I jump across and unlock that thing in a single action? It might be the case that I would need to fill in the block, or fill in the gap with the wood block. But in any case, at the very least, I have to generate a stopper somewhere, or I have to get an air elemental facing up in a particular position. So how are we going to do that? This allows me to get to here. Which unfortunately does not quite allow me to access the air elementals, because this will just kill me. Yeah, if we could figure out a way to catch... Here, like if I do this... Nope, that's not going to work. I was like, and then I can press down and be adjacent to that air elemental. But yeah, no, we know what happens when I press down in this location. So we can get adjacent to this box. Oh, I see. Okay. Oops. There we go. This will let me access one of the air elementals. Once I can move these around, they give us a lot of new ability to interact with the puzzle. So we just got to figure out what exactly to do with all of that. Because we can now create all kinds of new stopping points. But mostly what I want to do, I think, is put this thing adjacent to a spot where I'm going to be able to manipulate it in the future. Like if I put it here... No, wait, that's not going to work. How do I leave you in a spot where I'm going to be able to push you again sometime soon? I mean, I can just try to end it. I cannot quite end it adjacent to me, can I? That's not how the math on the number of spaces works. Because, like, a good way to think about these, and I don't know that I've said this out loud, a good way to think about these things is that they're always an odd number or an even number of spaces away from any particular spot on the board, and they can never end their turn. Like, when I push him right now, he can never end his movement without, you know, executing a push on something in a space that is one tile away from where he is right now. Right? There's no sequence of moves that will allow that to happen. I mean, there is the sort of like the added wrinkle of like, what if he pushes an object? And how could I make use of that? But I guess the question is like, what exactly am I doing? What I kind of want to do, what I'm thinking off the top of my head is, I kind of want to like spider walk him, which is to say, you know, like move him next to a spot where I'll be able to push him, and then move over there, and then push him, and then, you know, one by one, slowly get him over to the space directly below the space to the right of that lock. But I guess I'd have to get him there facing upward so that we could slide into him, which isn't actually a thing that can happen. Well, if I can get him up there, I could also just put him... No, I don't know. I don't have a plan. I'm realizing, actually, that it's pretty non-trivial. What do I do with you? If we put him over the spikes, if we put one of the air elementals over the spikes to the right of that hole, then we would have to get the other air elemental to shove us into that air elemental. So the plan would involve both of them, which probably, you know... I like the fact that it uses all the elements of the puzzle. It's not necessarily like... We can't say for sure that the solution must use all elements of the puzzle, because we know that there are red herrings in this game. We know that they do that sometimes. So I push you up. I can move you over to here. We can slide in here. I'm keeping them both manipulable. That's my like primary concern right now. Right? Yeah, that's accessible. This may, in fact, end up being the right thing. This plan where we just get both of them up into that top row up there. Because I'm thinking like... Okay, what if I could put you over here. The plan could be to have the other elemental activate this one, potentially. It is unfortunately a little awkward right now to leave this one in a spot. I guess I can manipulate it from here. Okay, so then the plan is... So I can slip up around this way, slide down to here, and then across this thing, which gives me access to both of them again. And obviously I can slide over to the right in a second here. and access the other air elemental that way. But like, what am I gonna? Where am I gonna put this one so that I can definitely push it again in a moment? Because I can't push it up from the pedestal space. This feels like almost right. Like we can't, unfortunately, we can't quite get to where I need to be. Where I need this thing to be. The gap is just a little bit too great. I can reset its position a little bit. I can just leave it here. That's retrievable. And come back to it. Okay, I actually don't hate that. That gets you really close to a functional position, and then I can, one bit at a time, put you in kind of a similar place. Okay. So, if I now slip back around to this top area, right, I can like leave you over here, which is a position from which I can manipulate you more later, or like I could just leave it right here. It's a spot that I would never want to go to anyway. Okay, and then I can do the same thing with this guy. All right, and now we've got them in potentially workable positions here. How do I get just like the final step of this figured out? I guess once I've got them, actually, so here I just gotta leave you there, and now I gotta figure out how to maneuver the other one into a position to push me, which is not entirely trivial, actually. Okay, here we go. Never mind. It was entirely trivial. All right, so there's a chance this will get us there, but there's also a chance that I can't go over the gap and open that lock in the same jump. And thus, that's what I was afraid of. So thus, we do in fact need the wood block, and that makes every part of this suck ass. This makes this whole plan wrong, and I hate that for me. How am I going to put the wood block into a place that matters? That's really frustrating. I'm so bummed out by that. And there was no way to know what the rules interaction was going to be there without just testing it. All right, so we had to start the room over. Okay. So, what I need now, I think we got to get control of the elementals again with the block in its initial position. Fortunately, we know how to do it. guess I don't need... Am I going to be able to get the other one? Without putting the block in a bad spot? I guess I won't need it, is the thing about that. Okay. So, push you up to here. I can slide up to here. No, that's no good. This is so, like, I feel like I'm so close. I need this to go, okay, I need you to be there. All right. Then we come all the way back around here. This lets me push the block into the hole and then hurl myself into the thing, and there we go. That's a way of getting that is definitely significantly easier and more straightforward. I mean, but like that being easy was absolutely an element of us already having figured out how to get control of those elementals. So, all right. I have a red flag up here, so I'm assuming we have snake eyes. There's 2 crystals. I remember this puzzle. There's 2 crystals over there. There's also still going to be some music notes somewhere because we don't have the song figured out. So it looks like... Yeah, it looks like taking the bird on this screen is... We may as well just go to the puzzle with the 2 crystals in it. Which is on this screen, which is going to be most easily reached this way, I think. Okay. This nightmare. So I don't think there's any reason not to put that down there. We don't necessarily want it on that button yet, but we do want it in position where we can put it on the button later. All right, so we can toggle this green switch several times over the course of this puzzle. We have the tools necessary to depress it, then undepress it, then re-depress it. And I gotta figure out how to turn that into something. Alright, I think we probably do need to do that, at least at first. So the most obvious way to access the crystals would be to push a box into the position that I'm in right now so that I could approach it from the right, bump into it, then press up, bump into that rock there, then press right and walk across all 3 of the bollards there, which all are lowered, to get our 2 crystals. Unfortunately, the way I just described that is not possible because we don't have the ability to have all those boxes. That's too many boxes. We can't generate that number of boxes. Right? We need 3 boxes to hold down We need 3 boxes because we have to hold down we have to hold down the blue and brown buttons, and then we need a third box here. I mean, I guess it's not impossible, but like the problem is, how do you get it in the right position? Because that top box up there, there's no way to get that top box accessible from the right side, right? From the correct, you know what I mean, from the correct side. I know I'm just kind of like doing things I had done before, but I'm like refreshing myself on what does and doesn't work here. Because like the idea is, now that you have... Wait, how do I even get back up? Because now that we've pushed that one box onto the green button, the other box is pushable from the right, but only once the box on the green button has been destroyed. And you could, in theory, push that box all the way over to the left, drop it down. But the obvious problem with that is that there's no way to get it to the right of the green bollard that's right next to me. There's also not actually a way for me to stop down here without having put a box in place first. Yeah, I'm not confident. This must be... Oh, okay, I think this must be the other box. This is what I'm fucking up. That must be that box. And this thing right here must be the box that goes on the blue switch. Because the fact is, we have to get a box in place down here pretty early in the puzzle. Wait a minute. How am I going to... So I have to fall down here. Because the idea is we push this over there. And then when we toggle the green switch, we can get this box into the position I need it to be in for me to be able to actually do stuff. Yeah, this is the problem. I was not thinking carefully about which box was for which purpose. Because now that that's done, we can come down here. This affords us a way to still make it over to this part of the puzzle. Sorry, I want to do this thing in this area. Do I have to... No, I don't have to destroy that box in order to put this back in place. Okay, and then I have to push this over to here, where we want that box to be eventually. Then I can come up here, destroy this, then come back up here, push this over to the stairs. Don't push this over to the drop-off point. There we go. And now I have this position. Okay. That wasn't so bad. That was like the one critical element in my thinking. The one critical mistake in my thinking was the positioning of that one box. Which boxes went to which things. Okay, so Accessing that area over there would be cool. This is just where you play the notes. Okay, we kind of want to go upright and use the bird up there. Is that a thing that's trivial to do at this point? You know what? Yeah, we can... No, it's not. Like, trivial is the wrong word, for sure. But it is doable. Here we go. I'm taking a second to look around to make sure I'm not missing the music note. There's only 2 left. Okay, so now it should be easy enough for us to get up there. It would be really nice to discover the music notes during this process, you know? I will be happy when we're done with this island, because it's a real pain in the ass to get around out here. Alright, there's not going to be 2 on the same screen. I can't imagine. Alright, so stars on the screens to the right and below that. Okay, this is definitely a thing where this air elemental is going to matter a ton, so it would be better if I could come in here from the bottom. Can I figure out a way to make that work? So it would actually be better for me to push from here. There we go. Okay. Now we can start with control over the air elemental, which is huge. I want to have a different number of available movement points when I do this. There we go. Okay, so that should be all of the gems then, right? That's generally how this works. Alright, let's reset these elements of the puzzle, and there's still some number of keys and stars to be gathered here. So we have to figure out how to use the combination of this air elemental, that wooden block, and that cloud block to get us past 2 gaps onto that staircase. Once we've done that, there's a star on the screen below that. We actually are almost done with this island. This screen has a couple of things. There's a star left here, and then there's a key left in the center. And presumably there's a red flag up there that we're going to have to check out. I guess I should have done that while I was up there. I really do hate maneuvering on this island. I'm going to be really happy when we're done with it. So we can get our air elemental over there by doing this. If I do this, yeah, okay, it does just fling me over the hole, which actually makes it extremely easy to reach this area. So that's handy. And then it's like pretty easy to... It seems quite easy to get the box into a good location. So I think what we want to do is just put the air elemental in some place to redirect the cloud, right? How do I want to position you for this? I guess I can just put you over here for the moment. Like, that works, right? Well, no, sorry. From this position, I won't be able to move the cloud. This should work. Although it'd be even better if it was here. Because then I can just walk to there. Yeah, easy. Alright, on to the screen below this one. A lot of these puzzles I had never even really looked at. Hold on, I see this. Let's just get rid of this, right? I don't know if that matters, but it's worth getting rid of. And then I'm just going real quick again, looking around for music notes in the snow. I don't see any. There's a lot of gaps and air elementals here. I don't love this. So, I mean, all we really need to do is ring that gong. Yeah, that's the only thing that actually matters here. So how do I set up gap coverage and also air elementals to sort of like pass me along and get me where I need to go? I mean, we want one right there, right? I need another air elemental. Right, you're actually going to be kind of a pain to access, aren't you? What is the purpose of this air elemental? What's this guy doing? You know what? Let me restart the puzzle here. Maybe I can't get that guy off the ice, actually. Because, like, I'd have to engineer a way of stopping adjacent to him, which isn't... It's not impossible. But it would probably end up costing us our wood block. Because we can make a stopping point. Or we'd have to put the cloud block in a spot. Use it to draw some of those traversable ice spaces. I guess that's not so bad. If I set this up such that the cloud block was in a... Yeah, it was in a spot to get pushed around the right way. It'd be like... Oh no, I don't want that moved all the way up there, obviously. Just trying to figure out how to get these objects around each other. I guess you have to start with the air elemental. I guess there's not going to be a way to do this the way I was thinking. Because, like, when you push the cloud, it's going to keep going until it hits an obstruction. I was thinking we could use the air elemental to bend it around up here, and then use it somehow to generate walkable spaces on the ice to get to that other air elemental, then use the two of them to set up a redirect so that we could push the cloud back into one of them and get it back over into the area that it's in now. But the more I look at this, the more I don't know if that's possible or necessary or like useful to do. Let me come down here real quick. I think you're probably in the wrong spot. Or at least facing the wrong direction. Because like, if I set up 2 air elementals in this area to the right, if I set up an air elemental in the space that one I just pushed is facing, and that one's facing right, then all I have to do is get bumped into the sequence of them and I get deposited in front of the gong, and once I ring the gong, the puzzle's over. But again, that requires a 3rd air elemental to push me into the sequence, and I don't know that I can actually make that happen, because we need to use our 3rd air elemental to move the 2nd air elemental into position, and then once it's there, it's no longer retrievable itself. So the air elemental that is floating directly to the player character is right here. I'm trying to figure out how to make it useful. How to get almost anything out of it. And like, it's true that we can redirect it to a place that's kind of useful, but I can't... What do I do with it, like, once it's there? I guess, okay, here's a thought. What if we set this thing up in this position? Don't try to come at it from the bottom. If I... Wait, I had a way of getting myself pressed into there, and now I already don't remember it. Because the problem is always going to be that I cannot use the air elementals to pass myself rightward over this spike space. It's not a big deal when the air elementals are in an icy area where you can use the ice to slide into them. But it absolutely is a big deal when you can't do that. I would have to be standing on the space. I'd have to be standing on where that wood block is right now, right? And the only way for that to be the case is that I would have to be able to stand on the space above it. I mean, that's really all there is to it, right? Which cannot happen. You'd have to push the ice block into... You'd have to push the ice block into that space without pushing the ice block into the space to its left. Or the ice block, the cloud. Because the cloud will break immediately when it touches a hole, right? Yeah. So it's like I need the cloud to jump over. Because I have to be able to go down. Well, yeah, I have to be able to go down from the space above the block. So if I had a second... If it was possible to get a second air elemental over here to play with, well, the air elemental probably will cause, it probably teleports the ice block a space away from it, the way it, or the cloud block, the way it teleports everything a space away from it, right? So maybe, hold on. What if I were able to push it up in a different spot here? Let me get you out of the way. Push you to the right. Push you down. Get you even more out of the way. This is going to take a lot of work to set up and then not even be correct. Yeah, no, I can't do this. I was trying to say, if there was a way to push the cloud block up while it was in this column here, while the air elemental was standing here facing right, it would probably teleport the cloud block over this first hole and have it freeze the second hole, which is what we want, because we can just jump over onto that space from there. And then we'd be able to step down onto the wood block and get air elementals doing stuff, pushing me around, making the magic happen. But unfortunately, I don't know if the thing I want to do is possible, because I would need a way to get the cloud block to stop here. My plan was to push the wood block into this space and then make that happen. I guess with the elementals' help, maybe I can still do it. Right? Because obviously, like, we run into a problem trying to push it down and then right, but I can push it right and then down. Oh, except I can't, because the air elementals push boxes 2 spaces, right. What happens if I do this? Okay, it doesn't get pushed 2 spaces. That's interesting. So that being the case, the cloud block probably wouldn't either. I guess in a way that kind of makes my job easier. Because, like, now I know that this isn't even a viable plan. How about this? What if I would love to get the wood block in the space. I can't push this wood block from the right, but you can. Okay. So maybe we're using the wood block to block for the cloud. We're sending the cloud to the space here that I was trying to put the wood block in. And hopefully I just only need to step on it once. I think we can probably make that work. We can probably hook that up. I think you need to be there. So if yeah, you'll stop it on the first space, which is exactly what I do not want. But that means that if I leave you on this hole facing right, the box will stop on the first space. It won't get thrown 2 spaces here, which is good enough, right? And then we want to leave you adjacent to the spikes. No, we want to leave you on the spikes. What am I talking about? I jump over here. No, shoot, this plan requires... I guess I don't know. Shoot, I need... I need to be able to move things 1 space at a time, you know? Hold on, let me step this back a bunch. I do forget that the air elementals always move things that aren't the player in 2s. Which means that I actually can get you over here, which changes some elements of the puzzle pretty significantly. Alright, so I feed you this, you put it in place. And then in theory, I can jump the gap. Like if I push you into this spot. Yeah, okay. I don't know, I was right on that and then I like backed away from it. But we got there eventually. Okay, so there's no reason to take the bird over to there. I think I do just kind of want to take the top left bird off of this little sky island. Because I do need to go back. Okay. I need to take the bird to the left there just to see. Which actually might be most easily accessed over here. Alright, what is being marked as secret on this screen? Why is there still a secret? There is still an ice block with the mark on it. And unfortunately, these things, all they are ever marking is just like there is something nearby, right? You can't really get anything more than that. So you just end up pressing against every object in the vicinity, which is not my favorite puzzle design. Gotta try standing on the places you can only stand 1 time. But no, this doesn't seem to be doing anything. Well, what the hell is that eye for? This is such a conspicuous dead end, it feels like it would have to be over here, right? But apparently not. Oh! I did not see that. Maybe it's something that's not accessible from here? That's right, there is this, isn't there? Well, if it's only accessible from this screen, then I don't know what the hell it would be. And obviously there's something going on here. Yeah, it's a little frustrating to have a secret marker that is so vague. It's like the check engine light. I guess actually it's worth noting the snake's eyes are not red on this screen. So whatever it is, I bet it does start on this screen. But also, this is simply not, there's nothing. Okay, this is weird, and this is gonna bother me now that I remember it's here. Or alternatively, maybe it's not gonna bother me because I'm going to immediately forget it exists. Entirely possible. Unfortunately, a big part of this sucking is that there is potentially, an infinite amount of like space in the clouds where there could be a secret passage that leads in a roundabout way to a spot. Like, so I have to just press against every space in the cloud path, which I don't like. I don't care for that at all. But we're given no hint, just the ominous red light of secret here. Yeah, I don't know. I might want to. All right, how much stuff is there left to do on this island? There's still some. We need to get over to here, and the way to do that is from. All right, it's from this thing, which we get two from that thing. All right, I'm gonna not stress about this right now. We're gonna come back to it. Huh, that's weird. Oops. We definitely were bumping off of a pedestal in the other room. I mean, whatever, it doesn't matter. Alright, so get brought over to here. Take the bird in the bottom right, which I think will be most easily accessed this way. Just taking a second to look for the last music note. Okay, so down and down right both have stuff. All right, here we must cover up that space. So it's not too bad, obviously, to get stuff in a pushable position from here, right? Like, to get stuff lined up so it could be pushed. But we are going to have a hard time stopping ourselves in the correct position to execute those pushes. And then obviously I just like jump over the gap once we've figured this out. So how do I get things into that position and myself into place to push them? Or I guess one thing I don't know is, would a box stop on the button? The button's not an icy space itself, right? So we only have to push one box into it, I think. So 2 should be good enough. If I stacked 2 boxes in this top right corner here, I could create a stop that gets low enough. And I think I can do that if I can just... How do I push this block that's to my left? I guess if I push it over here... Okay, hold on. If I push it over here, I can get myself into pedestal position and do that pretty easily. And then this block over here, you just do that, and then you can't access. My plan was, and then we'll just get on that snow there and use the snow to get below it. But I actually can't do that. No, I absolutely can't. What am I talking about? There we go. And now this is in position to get pushed. Okay, easy. And we may as well just go and have a look at this last bit on the central space before we go. Right, this nightmare. I'm still not clear on how this would even be done. We have here an elemental and some ice, and that's usually a pretty powerful combination. Oh, I guess, actually, never mind. What am I talking about? I see how this would be done. I just have to push the elemental. How do I want to position you for this? I guess this will work. Or maybe it won't. I just have to push the elemental into... I need the elemental to end up in this space, up and to my right, facing right. And I can slide into it quite easily from there. Like that. No, I can't. What am I talking about? If I try to press right here, I will die. That's why that doesn't work. I was like, this seems so easy. How did I not get it before? But yeah, that'll do it. So, okay. Then the plan is... Then the plan is what? Because I can't use the elemental to push the wood block into the hole. Because I can't get the elemental to face the correct direction in that column, in that row. I can absolutely get the elemental to intercept the wood block and send it upward. But, like, then what? You can get it onto the spike space. I guess it's true that, you know, I was kind of thinking about it like the block was going to slide upward the whole way, but those spike spaces aren't ice. So we can do this. And then, you know, in theory, there's a way for me to push the block up one space from there. Obviously, if I use the elemental will ruin everything, as they often do. Not helpful, but... there's probably a way to make this work. Like, if I were to... I had to push myself upward. But in this column, which I guess, no, I guess can't be done. What I want to do is stop on the space directly to my left here, which I can't do. So from here, we can't really push the block into... I was going to say if I could push the block up one space, then... No, I mean, then what? I don't even know what that would accomplish. It's in a more controllable position there, but not like in a way that's useful. Because that would only allow it to be pushed upward into that corner or to the right across the ice onto the other spike space, which also isn't actually useful. This one seems like it's not supposed to be that difficult, and I'm wondering, like, what is the relatively simple thing that I'm missing here? Because the answer can't be complicated. There aren't enough pieces available for it to be complicated. Yeah, all right. We're at the hour. I think I'm gonna call this one here and maybe walk away from this for a while, come back, and, you know, a lot of the time you let a puzzle sort of percolate in the back of your mind while you're doing other stuff. You come back to it, you see the answer basically immediately. I'm gonna have to hope that's what happens here, because I am real stuck. Like I said, I don't know that I'm gonna like 100% this game, but we're gonna at the very least take one more real shot at every star puzzle that is left in the game. So we're not at the end of the series just yet. That's going to be it for us for today, but when you come back next time, I'm hoping to finish up the Frozen Spire here and never have to come back to it again. And then it's on to the Lava Island. And we'll see you then.